You're now tuned in to the hottest podcast in the world, the Stay Woke Podcast, right here on the SonicBreakdown.com.
Man, it's time to wake up. Get this cake up. Only thing I care about is switching.
Welcome back to another Stay Woke Podcast. This is D-Ray Brinson, and you know the Stay Woke Podcast is presented by the SonicBreakdown.com. Go check out our latest reviews and articles on the SonicBreakdown.com. The latest article that we have out is an article titled 5 Artists That You Should Check Out and Buy From on Instagram. And that was written by Benjamin Ananwo, who is a journalist for the SonicBreakdown.com. So let's get right into it today. Today's episode is going to be a West to East Coast segment. And you know, if we have a West to East Coast segment, we got to have our East Coast partner on the East Coast. So we have Trav checking in to help us with this podcast.
Yo.
So thanks for coming in and doing another podcast with us, man. And today we're going to be talking about Rapsody's new album called Layla's Wisdom, as well as another addition to the Wu-Tang collection, The Saga Continues. So we're going to first start and break down Rapsody's Layla's Wisdom. If anybody has listened to the podcast before, most of our podcasts, we give Rapsody so much love on previous episodes. So we all know that, you know, me and you, we both listen to almost all of her albums. I think I have all of her albums. She Got Game, The Idea, Beauty and the Beast, and Crown are her studio released albums. And then she has a lot of mixtapes and other collaboration works that she's done with Talib Kweli, Ninth Wonder, of course Kendrick, as well as various different artists like Mac Miller. They used to run together quite tight in the beginning. So first, I want to say, for me, with this album, or just with Rapsody in general, she doesn't even deserve the title of best female right now. She just deserves the title of a great artist. Take out female, she's just a dope MC, a dope rapper, a dope artist altogether. She doesn't need to be put in a box, as Ninth Wonder alluded to, as in the kind of the troubles that me and you even talked about off mic of why she's not getting the love that she deserves for the content and the quality of work that she's given us. It baffles me that, you know, she's not getting as much love as she truly deserves for the quality of work that she gives us.
Yeah, I mean, she's proven time after time, with every project or feature that she ever been on, she's killed it. And I just think she's a phenomenal artist, man. She's one of those people to look at as far as like being a torch passed down to a next generation of great MCs to be one of the elites. She shows that in every piece of music that she puts out, every art, every verse, she puts her all into it. And she gives you overlapping lyricism that you have to think about, and she gives you the straight to it, the straight punch, good lyricism. And when you hear it, it's like, yo, I mean, I don't understand why everybody's still out here asleep. I mean, there's other people out here that's been around. They got their nice little microwave singles out, and they getting a whole bunch of more love than she is. And it's just mind-boggling why people aren't like, yo, Rapsody. Like, yo, she got I mean, people are starting to catch on now, but like me and you have been listening to her before. She was on the Kendrick's To Pimp a Butterfly album, so we really, really know. But now the world is starting to see a little bit. But I think, you know, you need to take heed to her, man. She's like, you know, she's one of the, she's just a great MC. You don't have to put her in the female box, because she already proved that she can tingle with the gods too. When it comes to this lyric thing.
Yeah, that's very true. And you kind of like took the words out of my mouth. My notes that I had for what I like about her in general is I like her voice, I like her flow, I like her cadence choices. Lyrically, she has every tool that you want in a MC. If you're really about hip hop and you're really about the culture surrounding hip hop, she has metaphor, simile, storytelling ability, and then once again, all of this is highlighted on this particular album. And it showcases all of her skills. And I think in this album, or this presentation of her skills, I think this is the best presentation that she's given us, highlighting all those skills that I just mentioned. And she still keeps it, the content tangible. It's not just she's talking about stuff that people can relate to. She's talking about things that everybody can relate to, that everybody can feel, that it just makes it so much real. And she's dealing with real social issues, real life issues. And like I said before, she makes it relatable. that's what I think, for me, is what really drives me to enjoying her albums and the work that she presents.
Me too. I mean, the whole album is tied in with inspiration. You know, it's tied in with storytelling, relatable music, relatable situations. I mean, she gets into even for the young ladies out there coming up. This is going world's ills. You know what I mean? Just being a young African American female that's going through everyday struggle with this life. She's there for them. She's talking to the young cats coming up. It's just, you know, the young brothers coming up as well. You know what I mean? She's like, her lyricism is there, and the inspiration. She's telling everybody to be who you want to be. You know, come out, let the world know that you arrived, and show them your skill, and show them that you're a soldier, a warrior. Like, she has all that in her lyricism, man. It's clear.
Yeah.
I mean, this album is phenomenal, man. You know what I mean? I really love this album, man. This is definitely, I know I said that about a few projects. You know, we talked about a few projects this year. But no, this one is definitely gonna be on my list this year, absolutely, because it's an all-around great project, man.
Yeah,
lyricism, the production, and her lyrics mesh real well. You know, the Soul Council and Ninth Wonder did a real good job on this joint right here. I mean, they always do, but like, it's a marriage, you know, but with the lyricism and the beats, it's a great marriage, man, for this project.
No, I definitely agree. And one of the things that you just mentioned is something that I found as a consistent theme in her projects, and that really works for me and resonates with me, is the uplifting quality that you just spoke of. When you listen to Crown, the initial track, you know, is telling you, it's a black empowerment, basically saying, you know, we're all kings and queens, like, and believe that, not just believe it, feel it. Like, embody that idea. Exactly. Put your crown on. So when you walk out your house, when you walk into society, regardless of whatever view they have of you or whatever they try to put on you, you know who you are, and stand by that. And so I just think that's very much needed, especially the way society and things in society are trying to tear down the black man, tear down the black woman, tear down people of color, and make them feel inferior, make them feel as though they need to conform to be whole. And like, her music and the themes that she pushes are saying that you're whole as you are. You don't need anything to make you more whole. You're complete. And so I think that's very important, and makes it an enjoyable listen as well.
And she's always going to give you that, man. She's always going to give you that. And I think she's one that really cares about her art, cares about what she's going to have to say to the people, and thinks about it over time. You know what I mean? But she's always going to give you that positive, but she's also going to let you know that she got skills too. You know, she don't want to be too preachy, but she want to make sure she gets that jewel out there every time she presents a piece of art out there to us. She's going to make sure you know that she has skills. She's going to make sure that that you know that she wants to uplift the people, and just to let you know that she's in the game. She's here to stay, and she's here for a purpose. She's not just here just to be rapping, to be around us, to be a new rapper out. Yeah. She wants to be an artist. She wants to touch the people, and she lets you know that every time she comes out, man. And that's what artist. That's an artist right there. That's an MC. She's not no fucking microwave rapper. You know what I mean?
No, and
that's not her, man.
And what you just said kind of makes me think of what we were talking about off mic as well, about with Cardi B and just other artists. And I'm not taking anything away from Cardi B. I'm happy with her success. I want her to do well. But the thing that made me think about that is when you were saying, she really, Rapsody in this case, really, hones her craft and doesn't just put out work. She puts out quality work. You can tell by the way that she releases music that, she's really, I'm not just throwing out music to keep the market saturated. I'm throwing out music that I think is quality deserving music. That's why it takes her, complete year usually for each project. She's, Crown came out last year around the same time. So it's like a full year of working and mastering it and perfecting each track, each project to make sure that when she releases it, that it's quality work. Again, I'm not taking anything away from Cardi B, who puts out a lot more music, but what I'm saying is we need to have that balance. The same amount of love that Cardi B's getting, Rhapsody should be getting that love too. The same amount
That's what I'm saying.
yeah, that's that. You know, I'm not saying no, I'm not saying take away, you know, the love that we're giving Cardi B. No, keep giving her that love. But there's enough love in this world to give multiple people the love and notoriety. So that's where I'm at with it, and it sounds like you're at the same spot.
Yeah, I definitely am. I mean, like I said, Carla B's from one of my hometowns. You know what I'm saying? I'm definitely happy to see her win. See her transition from being a stripper, working in the club, to getting to be a TV celebrity on some reality shows, to making an actual record as being one of the number one female artists. And the other person that holds the title was Lauryn Hill. Like, that's a big accomplishment for her, man. I think it's great. But at the same time, you got Rapsody out here that's, she needs to be recognized as well. And I think people are more receptive to Cardi's usually because, it's the club thing, it's the, trap thing and all that, which is cool. She's doing her thing. Like we said, we ain't taking nothing away from her. But I think, people are just overlooking Rhapsody's art. You know what I mean? This shit is crazy.
Yeah, because...
But I think you do. I think in due time they're realizing. It's just like, me and you, the real hip hop heads know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, that's a good look.
The real hip hop heads, if you play this album for a real hip hop head, even if it's not their quite cup of tea, or their they like trap music, so it doesn't fit in their wheelhouse, you have to respect her skill. You just, like, to me, it's undeniable. You have to respect the skill, even if you don't like the production, even if you don't like her cadence, whatever it is you might not enjoy about the album. Because I have heard some people say that, the album was kind of slow, that it took them a while to get into it. And I'll say, to a certain extent, what I'll say is, with Rhapsody's albums, for me, they're not going to be like your typical other, let's say, top 10 hip hop albums where you just instantly play it and it's like, oh, I love it. For me, like, cause it's so lyrically dense, the type of production, the dynamics that she provides on her projects, it takes you some time to really, to take it all in. And, that's why I want to apologize to our listeners as well. I want to say, I'm sorry for getting this review out to you so late, but I just wanted to make sure that we really listened to it and broke it down enough. And I don't think we could have did that in a week to 2 weeks. We just needed more time.
We was on it. Trust me, y'all. We was on it. The first 2 days we was out. We was talking to each other about we could have, but we wanted to sit there and then take the lyricism and take the art and take the beats and the vibe of this album, man. Cause it's definitely what it is. The vibe, it's a full body of work.
Yeah, you have to sit with it.
Yeah, you got to. This was not a microwave decision for, you know what I mean? like there's other hip hop that's out here that we can break down in 2 minutes. Just overlapping, man. This girl, she's equivalent to like a Lupe in them. So it's like, you know how Lupe does. She's up there with those guys and Kendrick and,
Yeah, you got to take your time to break down the lines because there's so many lines in here. So much to unravel that it would have did the project an injustice if we just came out with it in 2 weeks. But I do want to get right into let's get into the production. Do you have any favorite tracks production wise?
Oh man, I think my favorite track is Ride, man.
Ah, that's on my list. Yeah,
that's my favorite track.
That beat is so smooth.
Sick. And it switches up at the end.
Yeah.
Man, I love Ride. I think that's my favorite production on there. And I'm it's other tracks on there, but that wouldn't hit me. And also Jesus Is Coming.
Yes. that Jesus that Jesus Coming is so soulful. It hits you right in your soul. Like you like, for me, when I first heard that track, I let the album ride, and then when I got to that, I literally had to stop what I was doing and go, I have to sit down and pay attention to what she's saying, because the production alone is saying, hey, this is going to be some deep introspective, like you really need to listen and really break down their story. So that's how Jesus Coming hit me.
She's a great storyteller, man. You know what I mean? And it's just like
amazing
times with the man.
Yeah, you just called it, because the man, that was for me.
That same vibe.
Yeah, for me, I would have to put her on the Nas level of storytelling. Nas, Rakim, Slick Rick.
I stand on it.
Yeah.
I stand on that 100%. I quote that a million times. She's definitely up there with him.
Yeah, because like you said, Jesus Coming, the man, just those 2 tracks alone, it just, you feel like like she's talking to you. You feel like she's talking to you about somebody you know, or somebody that you should know.
Or some of the stuff you might have experienced yourself.
Exactly,
you know what I mean?
Exactly. It is, and
that's what I'm saying. She's not just talking from a female perspective. She's talking from a human perspective.
Exactly.
The struggles that we go through, and that's what I think people got to get past that to really understand. This girl, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They got to get past. This is like some girl rapping. She's an artist that's connected with the people. She's just not out here for females. She's out here for the world, man.
Yeah, she's transcending just gender. Just her skill transcends that. The other track that was one of my favorites is the title track, Laila's Wisdom. I just think, as I was saying before, I think she just really has a great knack for picking and making intro tracks. Beauty and the Beast, I can't think of the name of the track, but I remember the first line, I skip on water, I skate on ice. If hell froze over, I still be nice. Like, she just has a way
I think that was the first track of that one too. I think that was the first track on that one.
Yeah, that was the first track on Beauty and the Beast, and then you got Crown off of Crown, and then you got Laila's Wisdom off of this. Like, she really knows, and then the She Got Game first track too. Like, she really knows how to start an album off. I think she really has that down and really sets the tone. Because Crown set the tone for that album, Crown, of, that this is really about empowerment, where Laila's Wisdom on this one is basically letting, the perspective I got from it was like letting you know this is going to be an introspective project. I'm giving you the wisdom that was bestowed upon me, and I'm trying to bestow this wisdom down onto you. Not saying that I have all the answers, not saying that that everything that I'm going to tell you is the right thing, but it's coming from a good place of what I determine of trying to pass on the knowledge that I have. So I thought that was a pretty dope production track as well. I liked Black and Ugly as well, and Sassy.
Yeah, that was it.
Sassy. The reason why I like Sassy is just because that feel of the production made me think about when I was younger. And even the stories that my mother was telling me about, when she was younger, they were really big into skating and stuff like that. Going to the roller skating rings and stuff like that. Me and my brothers, we weren't really into it that much. We would go, birthday parties and stuff like that. But like my mom, my aunts, her cousins and stuff, like that was their thing. Like how some kids, their thing was going to the mall, their thing was going to the roller skate ring. And that sassiness, that's how I grew up. Exactly. So like that sassiness gave me that feel of those, like the roller skating rings, or, for me, block parties or house parties when I was younger in high school, that feeling of everybody's in a big group. And it's all just fun. There's no negativity. There's no aggression. It's just literally a good time. Those good old fashioned good times, like
right.
Or even the feelings that you get when you go to like a family reunion or barbecue where everybody's just so happy to be around each other, and that's it. Like that's the feeling I got from Sassy.
Yeah, that's kind of that I think about. That's the vibe that it did give out, man. Absolutely.
And so,
I mean, over here,
yeah,
even P.I. even though you have conversations about, he didn't tell you that we used to go to a spot out here called a rink, man. It was a skating rink, but it was called the rink, and that was the spot. And people from New York come over here because, like I said, this is the beginning of it's the north part of Jersey. So you was going to 2 skating rinks. You was going to the rink here in Jersey, over here in Burtonville, and then you was going to the skate here in the Bronx, 138th in the Grand Concourse. And you was going to the rink on Friday night, or you was going to the Key on Saturday night, vice versa, whatever. But those are the 2 spots that everybody was going to, man. And that rink vibe is a vibe.
Yeah,
that's the vibe. That's an enjoyable vibe. You get your music,
positivity.
Man, you chilling and you skating around that ring, man. You getting that vibe and just getting your own zone and just fly.
Yeah, and just
boom,
just moving, just feeling good. Yeah, and that's exactly the vibe that I got from that track. And then Pay Up was another track that that I just enjoyed sonically.
Yeah.
It just had another positive feel. It had a similar positive feel to Sassy, but more, I'll say more like barbecue or family reunion than a roller skating that Sassy did. Where it was just more, just good vibes. I felt like Pay Up would be a good summer song too as well. Just the production that it gave to me.
Pay Up was ill.
Yeah. So
Pay Up was ill. Home was ill.
Yeah.
She showed skill on that one.
What about lyrically? What albums stuck out to you lyrically? Or what tracks rather? Yeah.
Chrome, she showed her skill on, like she showed people on Chrome, like when she wanted to get on her flash shit.
Mm-hmm.
She showed them on Chrome.
Yeah.
Word up.
Yeah, she did.
I mean, because like I said, like this album has different levels. So as far as her showing her lyrical like skill, like she's coming at you, like she was showing them on Chrome. Like, I can talk that fly shit too. You know what I mean? Don't get it fucked up. Like, yeah, I'm saying talking about wisdom and life and inspiration, but I can also get in my bag and show y'all, I can get on my fly shit. So she showed them on Chrome on that one. You know what I mean? Everything else, every track on here lyrically to me was impressive, man. You know what I mean? So I can, every track, even joints like Nobody and You Should Know, Busta Rhymes, all that.
Yeah.
The Roller Coaster joint. These are all lyrical layers here on this album, man. I just mentioned Chrome because that was like kind of like the one to let them know, like, yo, I could talk that fly shit that you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let them know, that's why I picked that one. But every track on here has lyrical levels on it, man, and it's not the average fucking MC that like nowadays. You just let people know on this whole album. I appreciate every track on this fucking album, man.
Yeah.
And I ain't feel like that. I haven't felt like that in a long time about an album.
Yeah, it is. It is a complete project. I'll say for me,
complete project.
Some of the tracks that stood out lyrically, again, every track is lyrically quality, high quality, top shelf quality, lyricism in every regard. But Layla's wisdom, one of the lines that kind of really stuck out to me, that resonated with me was, I owe Sally Mae, but I owe my people way more. That line, when I first heard the album, that line stuck out to me because Sally Mae, yeah, they after me too, because I need to give them some money back from college loans. But just the idea of we do owe these loans back for our education, but at the end of the day, I owe my people way more. Like I wouldn't even be in the position to get those loans if it wasn't for my people helping me get to the position I was to get to college, things of that nature. So that line just like really resonated with me because at the end of the day, I'm about paying back. If I owe anybody something, I'm about paying back that. I don't like living in debt, or I don't like owing somebody anything.
I don't like that. I don't like that hanging over my head.
Exactly. Yeah. Just that feeling. I don't like it. But at the end of the day, owing my people and making sure I give back to my people and giving back to the people that helped me and giving those helping hands is more important than relieving that feeling of paying back those loans. Like, that bothers me personally, but not giving back to my people will bother me more. And so, like, again, that's what really stuck out to me in that line, and just that idea of giving back, and driving and uplifting, that she gives on that first track, lyrically. And then Power. I have to put Power in there lyrically because,
Power, man. That's another one, man. That's the first one I heard off this album, actually. That's the first track I heard. Yeah.
The lyrical content that both, Rapsody and, Kendrick put into that track, it's similar to, Fear for me, of how Kendrick kind of broke down, all his fears that he's had in his entire life. With Power, they both broke down the different dynamics of power and how they can be related to so many different aspects of our lives. Of, the power of being insecure about something, the power of choosing your own destiny, of having your destiny chosen for you, of just the power that you have over yourself versus that you have over others. Just there's so many different dynamics, and the way that they presented it was so deep and so powerful, as well as the way that they chose to write over with the aggressiveness in their tone, even like to amplify that idea of power. I just thought was really interesting and definitely a standout track.
It definitely was. The beat was sick.
Mm.
Her and Kendrick traded bars like, you know, they grew up with each other, man. You know what I'm saying? So I love that track a lot. That was the first track I heard, man, when I got the album. I kind of like went straight to the album. I knew it was going to be some shit because it's her and Kendrick on there, and it was like, yo, I know it's not going to sound like Complexions, so this is going to be some different shit. And sure enough, man, you know what I'm saying? That's what it was. They both went in. She's lyrically equal to him on that track. It's not like he overshine her, she overshine him. It was just a fucking even dope ass collaboration, man.
No,
Word up.
Yeah, definitely. To me, it felt like you can tell that Kendrick was like, I can't just mail in a verse here. I have to go hard because she's coming with it.
She's coming with it. She's coming with it, man. She's coming with these cats. Gotta know it. Like, yo, gonna fuck her on the track. Just be sure. Just make sure you know that she's gonna go in just as hard as you. And if you don't have your fucking A game and sleep, she might bust your ass on the track on Eminem shit, like you did the whole. Like,
Hope on Renegade.
Yeah, like, you know what I mean. She might get Eminem Renegade.
Yeah, and you don't want that because everybody quotes Eminem's verse on Renegade. So yeah, but
she's that kind of artist, man.
Yeah,
she's
definitely
that kind of artist. I'm fucking excited for the rest of her career, man.
Yeah, and
you know what I mean.
And she's already showed the consistency. Like we said, all of her albums have been consistently lyrically dense as this one.
Every single one, man.
And you
Every single one.
And you can also, and it's not like, oh, I'm getting the same type of album. No, you're not getting the same type of album. You're seeing growth. You're seeing each album is getting better and better and better. And like I said, that doesn't mean that the ones that were before this weren't good. They're good. It's just this one's even better. It's like
she's evolving. You know what I mean? She was already dope, but this dopeness evolving into more dopeness. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So, you know, even you know the first track that I heard from her that I'm like, yo, this girl is on some shit. It is Betty Shabazz, man.
I heard that. Yeah, I heard that.
I'm like, yo, you can ask dudes I work with, man. I was playing that track. Sometimes I just throw that shit in the rotation. I'm like, yo, y'all gotta hear this. I had a cat the other day that had nothing to did that no shit about this girl. And he's just coming to me. He's still asking me questions. This cat at my job, man. Shout out to my homie Steve. This cat, like, yo, what's that girl's name again from North Carolina? Yo, you was playing her over there. She's ill as shit. Yeah. So that's Rapsody, man. Yeah, he's like, yo, I never heard no girl really spit like that. I'm saying, yeah, son. Yeah. She's one of them. She's an MC.
Yeah.
She's an MC.
And that's great that she's passing it on, though, too.
Yeah. She's getting it in, man. She's like Floor Tree and Lauryn Hill mix, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That shit is crazy, but it's her. Like, you know, lyrically it's her, but it's like, that's the kind of vibes she gives, like a Lauryn Hill mixed with Floor Tree. You know what I'm saying? Her own shit, though.
Yeah, I quoted what I said about her flow, I think last year. I was like, she feels like she has MC Light's flow with Queen Latifah's positivity, with Lauryn Hill's the soft sultriness of Lauryn Hill. Like, mix all those three together, and to me, that's what
you. Yeah, she got Lauryn's aura.
Yeah. So, one of the other tracks that we did mention earlier was Jesus Coming. I just have to mention that again for the lyrical part, because lyrically, storytelling wise, it's just superb. It's like I said, to me, it's on the level of a Nas, Kendrick with Duckworth, or her own previous work of storytelling, The Man, like we mentioned. Just that track really, if anybody that's out there into real storytelling and hip hop, that would be the album that I would recommend to you for her as your introduction. I would recommend that, Jesus Coming, and The Man. If that's your, I won't even say box, but where you like to play in. If hip hop was a big ass sandbox and you like the storytelling section of the sandbox, that's where you should go for for Rapsody.
Definitely.
Writing
And the production on that was ill.
Yeah.
Man,
yeah, the way that the evolution in the production was amazing. Ninth Wonder, again, he's a genius. He did it again.
he's definitely a fucking genius. And I just appreciate the fact because I know I've talked on these on a few times about me where I moved at and how I live. North Carolina is a big part of my life as well. Just to see that Rhapsody's coming from that era, Ninth Wonder. These North Carolina cats is because it's coming up. Because the only cat that the world heard from that was from North Carolina was Petey Pablo.
That's right.
That one joint. You know what I mean? And nobody really saw or heard North Carolina's talent.
Yeah.
The Ninth Wonder came out, and their little brother came through.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
With the minstrel show. Yeah.
Like, you know. And she carrying on tradition, man. So it's like, yo, North Carolina's here. You know what I mean? And I got a lot of family. My originated from North Carolina. On my mother's side of the family, my grandfather and my grandmother all originated down from Halifax County, North Carolina. I lived big reunions there and all that. Just to see her, J. Cole, Big Brother, Ninth Wonder, and just do their thing like that, man, and lyrically do their thing. Like, they're not on some Bama shit. They on some, like, lyrical, they ain't on that fucking southern, that farmy rap. They on that real shit, you know what I mean? Lyrical. And that was another one I gave. That's another thing that gave me another, gave her points for me. Just from being from North Carolina and spitting that shit, man, and being lyrical with it.
Yeah.
Like, beyond. And it's just like, I'm very happy for that shit. And just to see people from that area, affect the game like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. Salute to North Carolina because J. Cole, Rhapsody, Ninth Wonder, like you said, Little Brother. And people be sleeping on Petey Pablo. Petey Pablo was more lyrical than he ever had the ability to be because the record label basically was saying, like, we don't want that from somebody coming from North Carolina. You know, we don't want lyricism. So,
right.
Who knows what, how lyrical he could. No, I know you're not, but I know a lot of people are out there, they thinking, that's all like you said, that's the only thing they know of Petey Pablo. But if you go.
Raise the helicopter shit.
Exactly. But if you, Petey had bars. Definitely, I just wanted to put that out there because a lot of people don't know that. And to be honest, I learned that recently about Petey Pablo. So I just felt like I should pass that information on that I found out. One of the other tracks that I did want to bring up is Riding, like you said. I really enjoyed that track. I really enjoyed how she flowed over that production, as well as I think it was GQ, who was the other person featured on that on that track. But the one thing that I would say about that particular track was it felt like Schoolboy Q should have been on that track. Like the way that like just the feel of it, like I kept on in my head, like I was like, I hear Schoolboy Q on this. Side note, the other thing that I did want to say, and regarding lyricism, is Black and Ugly. I wanted to just talk about that track for a little bit because because that track it encompasses so much and it is deeper than just the title portrays, because it talks about from my perspective that it talks about more lack of confidence or confidence insecurities, and some of those insecurities are self-driven and some of them are society-driven. The way that society has kind of formulated that the darker you are, the uglier you are. And that is expressed in many forms of lightening Beyonce's pictures to lightening other black actresses' pictures. If you're light-skinned, you get more entertainment positions in the industry. So that kind of things kind of pushes society, or the idea of society that, dark-skinned isn't beautiful. Rapsody has talked about this on other other songs as well about of Black woman empowerment and realizing that, even on Complexions, talked about skin color. Yeah. I just thought that, it is an issue that I don't think gets talked about enough and that should be talked about. And it goes back to what we were talking about of how she perpetuates and pushes this positive vibe, this positive energy of, that, yeah, you're, people might say you're black and ugly, but at the end of the day, you're black and beautiful. Like the antithesis of that you are black and beautiful. You are the dark skin dark skin, light skin, it doesn't matter. You are beautiful in the skin color that you are, you know, just and embracing that. So I think that is another, especially for young black women, because even some of the things that I believe Lupita Nyong'o, the actress, was talking about her stripes and tribulations that she had with being a darker skinned actress, and the battles that she had. So I just think that's something that again, I thought it was important that she talked about, and I'm glad that she continues to bring those type of issues up.
Right. She's going to be the spokeswoman for that. She's going to make sure there's somebody out there that's going to make sure that these young ladies out here know that, you know, the power you have. You know what I mean? Your uniqueness, your aura. You know, she's going to always be the one that's going to step up and do that. And I saw that it's consistent from the beginning, like from Beauty and the Beast to all that. You know what I mean? So
yeah, it's even She Got Game. She talks about it on there in one of the tracks on there too.
Yeah, it's like a consistent thing that she pushed forward for that because she truly wants that to be known. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like she wants that inspiration to be out there. She wants to let you know that you got that power, you got that aura. You know, you're beautiful. Your soul is beautiful first and foremost. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So. Just to have that out there, you know, and you know, I think she's going to continue to do that, and I think people are going to take heed and listen. And she's a great role model for these young girls coming up now, man. Absolutely. You know, that's the leader. She's a leader when it comes to that. That's what makes a leader.
Yeah, definitely.
Lead in the right direction, in the positive direction. She definitely is a leader out here. You know what I mean?
No,
that song is great. She Black Thought was on there.
Yeah.
That's another great lyricist.
Great standout feature.
With him. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it's like, yo, you know?
And
you know, Black Thought.
And based on what you just said there, to me, I think Black Thought had the best feature.
Yeah, he is the best feature.
Yeah, that was and again, people are gonna say, "Whoa, you're dissing Kendrick or you're dissing." No, it has nothing to do with it. It is.
You love Kendrick, bro. Love Kendrick. You know what I'm saying?
But Black Thought is Black Thought.
We all know that Black Thought. You know what I'm saying? He's just on a different level. I mean, Kendrick has been accepted into the regime of great lyricism. You know what I'm saying? He's part of the council now. He's part of the clan. You know what I mean? But
he's not the elder statesman. He's not the elder statesman of that club. Black Thought's
right.
Black Thought's in that. Yeah,
Black Thought's been around for a minute. He's been spitting that shit. He another one that always came out. You know, he's going to push for inspiration. And he's going to push for Black pride, but he's going to let you know that he got skills too, and the overlapping skills, lyricism to the utmost. So you know what I mean? Black Thought got on there with Rapsody, and they both did their thing. You know what I mean? So they kind of cut from the same cloth when it comes to this lyric thing.
No, definitely, and he even mentions it in his lines when he says, basically saying that, for me being on this track, for me even being here, and for her even asking me shows how basically that she knows her hip hop history. She knows talent, and vice versa. He's only doing this because he knows how dope she is. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like, so I just thought that mutual respect for each other. Yeah, I thought that was important, and just the fact that he even highlighted it on the track so that there is no ambiguity. We know how he feels about her, and vice versa. That it's like we just said, mutually respected. I want to transition a little bit into what were your least favorite tracks on the album.
Well, I don't think it was. I just thought. I'll say the one with Busta Rhymes, man. And you know what? I like Busta. Busta's always doing his thing. He's a legend. I don't know. I mean, it wasn't whack. It just
didn't hit
one
you.
Of my favorite joints. Yeah, that's all.
See, for me,
I can't take nothing away from it. It just wasn't my favorite joint.
No, that's I get that. For me, it's a roller coaster jam and Knock on Your Door. And again, similar to what you were saying, it's not that I don't like it, but it's not my favorite. It's that simple. Like,
Music Soul Child. Yeah, that was another one that wasn't really. It was back to back to those songs.
Yeah, the roller coaster jam, to me, I like the concept. I like the idea. I like where they were going with it. Of the ups and downs of being in love, things of that nature. But it just, like I said, it just didn't resonate with me. Again, it's not a bad track, but it just wasn't my favorite. And then, Knock on Your Door. Again, I get the concept. I get the concept of, a girl liking a guy, trying to get him to look her way, spark a relationship or something like that. It just didn't really resonate with me. It just, for that one, to me, it felt a little bit cheesy, a little bit corny to me. But again, I get where she was going with it. The playful idea of kind of like a brown sugar kind of feel is the feeling I was getting from it. But again, it didn't quite hit for me. But again, that doesn't take away from the album as a whole. I think this is a great album as a whole.
Yeah, word up.
I can play it from beginning to end without skipping a track. But if I were to skip a track, those would be the two that I would skip.
Okay. No, I feel you on that, man. Mine would be the Busta Rhymes joint.
Got you.
I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, sometimes it just doesn't do it for you.
I got love for Busta. Everybody know I love Busta Rhymes, man. You know what I'm saying? Another cat that I grew up with listening to all his shit.
Yeah, me too.
You know
Extension Level Event. That was one of my favorite albums.
Word, hell yeah. Just on this joint, it just didn't feel like it was a mess right there. You know? That's all. Maybe we did do another track together. That's, you know what I mean? A little bit more up tempo.
Yeah.
Busta Rhymes being in his element, maybe it'll be more effective. It just wasn't feeling this joint.
No, I got you. Break down this track overall. What's your overall impressions of the album, and where do you think it stands within this year? Because you kind of alluded to it a little bit earlier, but this has been a really, really good year in hip hop this year. A lot of standout tracks.
Word up.
There are a lot of standout albums and projects. Where would you, as of right now, again, the year isn't over, but where would you kind of put this track or this album into the albums that have been released this year? Would you say it's definitely in the top 5, top 10? And I'm not asking you to, give us your exact list, but an idea of where you would.
It's definitely going to be in the top 10. That's for sure. Might be the top 6 for me. You know what I mean? If I really gotta think about it, because I listen to what kind of shit I listen to. So it's like, but this one's definitely gonna be it's probably I would say the top. I don't even want to say top 10. If it didn't make my top 5, it's probably because it's another project that was just in that slot that came out before her joint came out. That was really filling, because it was different, and that's why she didn't make the top 5, but then she'll be 6 out of the top 10. You know what I mean? So
gotcha, yeah.
That's how, if she doesn't make the top 5, she'll be definitely number 6 or something. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. The whole project's a full body of work. Like I said earlier, the lyricism, the production, it all meshed together, and it was a great project. This is a fucking album. Like, motherfuckers be putting out fucking bullshit. This was an album. Like, it's a piece of art here. You know what I mean? So it definitely makes the top list to me. That's the shit that I look for. That's the shit that we grew up with. We listen to fucking full bodies of work albums, putting their heart and soul in the shit. And that's what made albums great. And she definitely has all these elements with this project right here, man. So it definitely belongs in the top 10 or a top 5, for sure.
Yeah, I would agree for me. Definitely in the top 10. I'm pretty sure it's going to make the top 5, just like you said. Because this album, production wise, it hits on everything that I sonically want to hear. The sonic properties, the different tones, the different, sounds is all in my wheelhouse of things that I sonically like to hear. Lyrically, it's very dense, storytelling, metaphor, similes, punchlines, bars, great features, well thought out. The structure of the album, the layout of the album, the whole concept, the theme, I think was really, really well done. On the lyrical aspect, she touches on so many different topics. Like we said, from power to emotional to feminism to racial inequality to gender issues, relationships. She touches on a myriad of topics that gives you something to grab onto and attach to resonate with you. So again, I think it's a really good project. I definitely think it's worth checking out, especially if you consider yourself a true hip hop head. I feel like this is a must album to have.
Say that.
Yeah, I definitely think it's a must album to have if you consider yourself a hip hop head, and if you're somebody out there saying that there's not enough lyrical artist, then this would be an album you should buy.
Word up. Go out and get that shit. If you're a real hip hop head, go pick that shit up, man. Give it a listen.
Yeah.
Fuck that. You gotta listen to that shit. You know what I mean? You a hip hop head, you talk about like lyricism and all that. Listen to this joint.
Yeah.
This shit go over your head, and you need to reevaluate the shit that you be listening to, man. You know what I mean? This is a hip hop album right here. It's for real hip hop heads. For cats that like lyricism, this is the joint. Pick that shit up, stream it, whatever. Spend a little $9.99 or whatever on iTunes. Pick this motherfucker up and keep it part of your collection. Because this is gonna be one of them joints.
No, that's real.
And all that whole wave.
Yeah. For all my woke folks out there, if you say you woke and you like hip hop and you listen to music, then this is for you. So if you listen to the podcast before, and you know, the type of taste and quality of music that we like, then this would probably be something that you would enjoy as well. So definitely go check that out. But I want to transition now into, first, again, I want to give a salute to Rapsody, a salute to Ninth Wonder, a salute to Jamila Records, a salute to Rock Nation, for all them for getting this project out to the masses and pushing it and promoting it like it should be. But I do want to transition into the second album of our podcast, which would be Wu-Tang's latest album that was released, and that was called The Saga Continues. Hey world, we wanted to take a quick break from this episode to remind my woke folks about a friend / family of the podcast, Andrea, who has her own podcast. She has a great podcast to check out called Unsupervised Adulting. If you haven't given it a listen, go right after this episode on Apple Podcasts and SoundCloud to do so. If you have heard it, then you're already ahead of the game, but you can leave her a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. It helps a lot. Andrea is a funny person who definitely gives truthful and interesting perspectives, as she says on previous Stay Woke podcast episodes that she is trying to figure this life thing out. You can listen to Andrea on Unsupervised Adulting by clicking the link in the description or visiting her website. Now back to our scheduled program. It's been a very, very long time since the last Wu-Tang album. Has it been at least? I think it's been at least.
Well, it's been like, what was the last joint? The last one was A Better Tomorrow, and that was like 3 years ago.
Yeah. So
people wasn't feeling that shit. I'm gonna get into that in a minute. I'm gonna get into that shit in a minute. But this is if you're a Wu-Tang head, man, and you was disappointed in the last 2 projects that came out from Wu-Tang, this is the fucking resurgence right here of that Wu-Tang sound. The shit that y'all been wanting to hear. This is it right here.
Mathematics.
Yep, Law Mathematics came through. He represented. He put this thing together. I was excited when I heard the first 2 tracks, People Say, and the other joint with Redman. I was excited. I'm thinking like, and then you can get bamboozled about some shit because you might hear the first 2 singles and you don't hear the rest of the project, and the rest of the project might not be what you heard on those 2 singles, but that wasn't the case.
Yeah.
This shit,
No, what I was gonna say is, I definitely do think this was a resurgence, as you said. I do think this, for those Wu-Tang fans out there, if you're looking for something that's closer to, the Wu that you loved, that you grew up with and loved, this is the closest thing that you'll get to it. It's, it's very, the best word I can say is very Wu-Tang.
It's Wu-Tang.
Yeah,
this is it.
It's exactly what you would imagine or you would envision a follow-up Wu-Tang album to sound like. Again, if you were imagining and you wanted an embodiment of that old feel that you had, kind of bringing that reminiscence back. You definitely get that in this project. You get it in the very beginning, from the beginning, the intro track with the old martial arts or kung fu flick snippets in the beginning.
From the beginning.
the type of production that is used on this whole entire album is very 90s Wu-Tang-esque. The features, the bars, the structure even of how they chose to segue, having Method Man in or Redman in or Raekwon in, the layout of the verses is very Wu-Tang-esque as well. So again, this, if that's the feel that you want is that, then this is the album you should get. What I will say, for me, Redman and Method Man were the real standout artists on in the whole project. Every time I heard every Redman verse or every Redman line, like my ears perked up. Like it just, something about what he was saying, how he was saying it, his cadence, his flow really made me pay attention. And stuck out to me. What about you? What about you?
Same thing. Method Man and Redman did their thing they made the album. These guys, they really made this album, man. And Redman's not even a Wu-Tang member. He's just like he's an alliance.
Yeah, honorary Wu-Tang member, basically.
Honorary Wu-Tang member, exactly. And like I said, the first two singles, People Say and Lessons Learned, what I meant to say a minute ago. That was the second single that was released. And Redman fucking went in on both of those joints, man. Method Man fucking scaled up to 1 million on this joint. You know what I mean? Like, he ain't never went nowhere. You know what I mean? Like, he's still here. He's still crazy with the lyrics. They both represent it. And these are cats down in their 40s, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they let you know, like, yo, we still here. We still with hip hop. Our blades are still sharp as it was back in the day, man. They was cutting heads off lyrically, man, with this. I mean, I'm very impressed with this project, man. I'm a big Wu-Tang head. Everybody know that, man. Like, everybody that know me knows the fucking Trav. You know everything about Wu. You know what I mean? This goes back from fucking grammar school to now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I was happy because, like I said, the last Wu-Tang album, man, it wasn't it. You know what I mean? The fucking production was off on that live instrument shit. I mean, they had a couple of tracks I liked, but as a whole, it wasn't that Wu-Tang sound. The same thing with the one before that, The Better Tomorrow, was another album called The 8 Diagram.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
No one liked that one. That one was, I mean, they had a couple joints. They had like 2-3 joints on there that might have had give you a vibe of it, but it just wasn't it. Like, that Wu-Tang sound was been missing the last 2 Wu-Tang albums. Some of the solo artists, like Master Killer, Jizza, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Or Raekwon, of course. Raekwon reinvented his own sound. Like, he has his own kind of like sound, But even in some of his shit, like, you heard the Wu-Tang sounds there, but as a collective group, when they came out for making the album, we've been missing that shit for damn near fucking 10 years. Because the 8 Diagram came out in 2007, man.
Yeah, that's what I mean? That's why in the beginning when I was saying, when's the last time? Because in my mind, I really don't count those 2 albums because, as you said, they weren't up to par. So it just felt like it's been so much longer. And then when you got this, it was like, for those Wu-Tang fans out there, it was like if you were being held underwater for so long, and then this album like allowed you to get that breath of air, like, because it matched what we anticipated, and that's really hard, especially for somebody or a group that's as legendary as Wu-Tang to try to live up to your past work after having such a long layoff, as well as 2 not so promising projects. I just think that it really shows a test to who they are, and that they really wanted this to be a good project. And that you can tell that they put the time and the effort in to make sure that it came out right. Even to the aspects of the production, to having the features of having oh my gosh, I can't think of his name right now.
Sean Price.
Thank you. That's I saw his face. Sean Price, Chris Rivers. That's what I mean. Like having those, they just didn't get, cause think about it. If you're making an album and you're trying to get back that feeling that you had, right? But you're trying to appeal to a new generation. I could see them easily going for newer features, getting, you know, maybe ASAP Rocky or Playboy Cardi or, you know, something like that just to give that new appeal. They didn't go that route. They went down the route of what we wanted, giving us, you know, real.
They got a new artist.
Yeah, they do, but
that kind of new artist.
But they got that's what I mean. That's what I mean. They got an artist that fits that still feels instead of an artist that's gonna bring viewers. You know what I'm saying? So I just applaud them for that because they could have. I don't want to say sell out and said, "Oh, let me go get a Playboy Cardi, let me get an ASAP Rocky, let me get a Travis Scott, let me get a Little Yachty."
We wouldn't have that shit.
You know what I'm saying?
And we would have fucking
we would have killed them for that. But but the fact is that they still found a new cat, Chris Rivers, but that matches their style. You know what I'm saying? So I just thought that was well done. For what were some of the tracks that stood out to you? I'll say for me it would be Pearl Harbor. What's that other one? Hood Gut and Bang, just because I like Redman on that one. And
Hood Gut and Bang is fucking, that was sick.
Yeah,
G'd Up was sick.
Yeah, G'd Up too.
But I think one of my favorite ones is Time Is Money, man. I mean, fucking Method Man, fucking. The way he rolled that beat, man, and the preciseness of his flow on that shit. He was like walking you through Park Hill projects and Staten Island.
Yeah, that felt like the old man.
Like, you know what I mean? Like that was the old best.
Yeah, that felt like the All I Need. That feels like that All I Need Is You meth, like that, where it's a slower cadence, but he's really breaking down a story. Like you said, you really feel like you walking through New York with him. Like you
walking through Park Hill, man.
Exactly. You walking through it. He giving you a tour. You're like, you literally walking next to him, and he's like, "Yo, right over here, right over there. Look over there. Oh boy, live down the street, right down from here." Like that's how you feel.
The crazy shit is, I felt the vibe when the song dropped, but then when they dropped the visual.
Yeah.
Like I felt that vibe, like he walked me through somewhere, and then when they dropped the visual, and he was doing that, I'm like, oh shit, like yo, this is exactly the vibe I got, like him being by Park Hill, walking down the block, you know what I mean? He pokes up in front of the building, just giving it to you, like, you know what I mean? Give you the rundown and all that, like. And that's the vibe I got, and it was really basically his track on there, you know what I mean? And I just thought it was a great track, man. The way he wrote that motherfucker, man, it was incredible.
No, I agree. I'm really happy with the project. I'm happy with the production. I'm happy with the lyrical aspect of it. Like we've been saying, it gives you that old school Wu-Tang vibe. Definitely with new school content, as well as it made me highly anticipate, and it makes me anxious for the Redman album coming out.
I get ready to drop too.
Yeah, because if he's giving us bars like this one, I'm just like I said, I can't wait to hear the next one, his next project, as well as, like I said, Method Man stood out. Raekwon, I think, did a good job. Ghostface, I think everybody did a well job. The thing that I do want to talk to you about is the end and how they had that end go. How I thought it was interesting how they had the social commentary with RZA, talking about, different cultural aspects and social issues. But the way that they had it end made me gave the impression that it's gonna, like they did with the old kung fu movies, where they kind of ended abruptly to give you the idea that there is going to be a sequel. Is that the same vibe that you got?
That's the same vibe I got, and I thought that was one of the most genius things about it, because that's how you know that this is the real Wu-Tang album.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because that's how those albums end. You know what I mean? It has a track with Convo One, and it has a track with Skits.
Yeah,
if you listen to Wu-Tang Forever, that's how that ended.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Classic Wu-Tang.
I was right. I really thought that was a genius idea. With that, this is coming from a producer that was one of, and you know what? I know we was talking how bad the last two albums was. I still want to give a salute out to RZA, because RZA is still and always will be in my top 5 producers. I just think that his sound evolved because he's dealing with different
different
aspects in his life.
movies.
He's in Hollywood.
Yeah,
he's scoring movies and shit, and he's hanging out with Tarantino. He's scoring films, and it's like his sound evolved. You know what I mean? So kind of like went over. Like he even said it in it. I don't know if you checked out the last couple interviews him and A Law of Mathematics did together. He even said that being around mathematics, that he oh shit, I forgot about that sound. Like it was certain shit that mathematics was doing that reminded him, like, oh shit, right, like yeah, now I remember. Like, you know what I mean? Like he's kind of like got snapped back into reality.
Yeah, put him back into a different space.
You know? Yeah, he get him back in his root space, and mathematics carried the torch because RZA has about 3 or 4 understudy producers. True Master, A Law of Mathematics, 12th Disciple, and Bronze Nazareth, and Silver Rings. Those are all his understudy producers. That's been doing a lot of production with the solo artists.
Yeah, like his production team.
Sounds. Right. So, for the Law of Mathematics, man, I learned something new. I didn't know he designed the Wu symbol.
Yeah, no, I didn't either. Until I heard,
that.
Redman say it on there. I was like, and then after I heard Redman say it, I had to go look it up. I was like, oh.
Yeah. He designed it. And, just to see him shine, like he's been with these guys for years. He's been Redman's tour DJ, Method Man's tour DJ. He's been on tours with the Wu. He's been around in the cut, like chefing up beats and doing his production skill for the past 20-something years. He's been there from the beginning. You know what I mean? And let's see him be able to shine and give out a project like this, and give the Wu fans what they wanted. You know what I mean? I want to say Wu supporters. That fan things. I don't know. I have a problem with that fan word. You know what I mean? We're the supporters. You know what I mean? So, I mean, with Wu, everybody know Wu-Tang it's like a cult following. With the supporters, man. I've been on board with that since 93, 94, 92 actually. I've been rocking with them. So it's like, yo, just 20-something years later to be here and stay able to do it. All right, we got a couple of upsets. We got a couple of but this people that have been around here fucking 2 decades ago, like, you know what I mean? 2 albums out of all the massive work they've done with group and solo projects. 2 upsets is still fucking phenomenal fucking career for 20 years. You know what I mean?
Everybody got a bad day. So
word.
And in comparison to other artists, that's a hell of a record, you know what I'm saying? So there's nothing to be ashamed about that. Again, they came through on this album in particular. I will say I can't listen to this album straight through. There are a couple of tracks that I would say aren't as powerful or as others, but I think overall this is a really, really good project. I'd say for me, if we were going to similar as we did with Rapsody, if we were going to put it into context of the other albums that came out this year, I would say it's in the top 10, but it's definitely on the lower end of the top 10.
You could say that.
I could say at least for now, based on how I feel right now, I wouldn't say it's in my top 5. But I would say it's in my top 10, again, closer towards the bottom of the top 10, but that's just because this year has been crazy in the quality of project and in the amount of good quality projects. I think, and they, alluded to it as well on, Everyday Struggle, that this might be one of the greatest, years in hip hop, ever. When you think about the amount of quality projects that have been released in 1 year. I would have.
I mean, people represented this year, man. A lot of people represented this year with hip hop. This started from. This has been going on since fucking January, literally.
Mm-hmm.
People putting out fucking great albums, man.
No, really started in December. Lightweight, if you count J. Cole's project being released in December, and Run the Jewels in December.
Run the Jewels 2 did come out fucking December.
Yeah,
That's
Run the
right.
Jewels came out
Well,
December. Then you had Joey in the beginning of the year, Kendrick in the beginning of the year,
right.
Styles P,
Apology,
Talib
rest in peace. You know, I
Kweli,
gotta eat. Word.
Sean P,
Sean Price, Prodigy,
Prodigy, Rick
fucking
Ross, Rather You Than Me,
Rick Ross. That was another fucking great album.
Freddie Gibbs.
That's what I'm saying.
Freddie
Gibbs.
It's been a good year. It's been a really good year in hip hop.
It's gonna be hard. That's gonna be hard to make up to this year, bro.
Yeah, Eminem still got a project coming out supposedly. Nas has a project coming out supposedly.
I think he's gonna stun on us. I think he's gonna stun on us, man.
MF Doom. Yeah. There's so many.
Doom gonna come out.
Yeah, there's so many good
out.
projects. So again, yeah, this year, this top 10, oh, it's gonna be hard for this top 10.
It's gonna be hard for the top 10. I mean, I kind of got a feel of what's gonna be mine. You know, with some solid joints on there. Me and you, I know one. Me and you share one.
Yeah, no,
you know what I mean?
we definitely share one.
We share one of them.
Yeah, we share one. But I'm gonna just say, like, there's gonna be like that 10th, that 9th and 10th album on that list, man. It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard because
some juggling shit.
Exactly. There's gonna be some like, man, do I want to put nah? I can't leave him out, but I can't leave her. It's going to be some indecisions, but we're going to make that list for you. So, we will definitely have another podcast, towards the end of the year with our top 10. So definitely leave us comments. Let us know, so we can start thinking about that now. What albums you would have in your top 10 as of this point.
Word.
Also definitely let us know what you think about this Rapsody album. Give her some love, give her a shout out, repost, tweet, Facebook, Instagram, whatever it is. Get the word out that this album is great and that it should be listened to. And that's Rapsody.
Yeah,
go ahead. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So, go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. Let us know how you feel about this Rapsody album, man. I mean, we praising it because it needs to be. You know what I'm saying? It's for the hip hop world, the hip hop game. This is one of them albums that gotta be praised, man. If we're gonna talk about lyricism, real skill. This album is one of those joints. I mean, it has to be. Cats out here talking about fucking other albums that's trash. This album is nowhere near trash. You know what I mean? The Wu-Tang album, if you're a new fan or old fan, let us know how you feel about it. I mean, to me, I'm satisfied, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
With the project. But I know some people might not be satisfied. I mean, they want to hear Wu-Tang forever again. I don't think that's gonna happen. But as far as like a new installment, I think it's a solid new installment. Just let us know how you feel about that. Break it down for us. Give us some feedback. Whether it's on Instagram, whether it's on sonicbreakdown.com, either my IG, his IG,
hit us up.
Breakdown, or Stay Woke Podcast with D-Ray. Hit us up. Let us know what's up. Give us some feedback. We need y'all feedback so we can know we can make a better quality podcast for y'all. We can give y'all what y'all want. You know what I mean? So definitely let us know what's up.
Yeah, that's very true. Just like you said, everybody's not gonna feel the Wu-Tang album like somebody that is a Wu fan. And a lot of people might know her from Instagram. I still love .D. She said that she thought the album was just okay. Some people really love it. Some people didn't like it at all. So like Trav said, give us your input. Let us know what you think. You can email me at cofounder@thesonicbreakdown.com. DM us, on our Instagram, Stay Woke Podcast with D-Ray Brinson or D-Ray. And then, or hit Trav's IG. He's definitely going to respond. I respond, hit our Twitters up, and just leave a comment on.
Yeah, Trav Liam 80s at Trav Liam 80s on IG.
Yeah, so definitely hit him up, follow him, and then connect with us all. We just want to get more insight, get your opinions on it. But like I said,
build with y'all. We want to build with y'all, so we can build a conversation and build and talk about these things, man. Give us the feedback.
Exactly. So come back next week. We have a new podcast every Friday. So I want to say thank you for listening to another Stay Woke podcast. Come back, like I said, every Friday for a new episode. Next week, we'll have a new episode of Let's Talk About It. And in that segment, we're going to be interviewing another dope MC called Cess Wonder, the female Hove. She has an album coming out pretty soon, so definitely you want to check that podcast out. So go check out Cess Wonder, her IG, Facebook, Instagram, and then definitely come back next week to hear that interview to learn a little bit more about that dope MC.
Shout out to Cess Wonder, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to Cess Wonder and P.I.V. I know them both personally for years. I know their families. Those are my peoples right there, man. They dope.
Yeah, so definitely.
Both of them.
Yeah, if you haven't heard the PIV interview we did, that's already up on the sonicbreakdown.com or staywokepodcast.com. So check those out. And then the following week after that, we're going to have our third installment of the Jay-Z Footnote series. And that episode is going to be titled The Moral Dilemma. And that's going to be based off of the video of the Many-Faced God's Footnote that's on Tidal. So listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Stitcher, SoundCloud, or YouTube. And I want to say thank you again, Trav, for giving us the knowledge and breaking down these albums with us. And you know our motto: live, listen to some great music, and above all, love more. And we out.
Love more. One love.